Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon E3 Day 2 special with your host, Spacebaker2448, and wrap that up. Oh no. Oh no, did we go down?
Shouldn't have.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I saw you typing, and I was like,
no.
Okay.
I just was clearing
No, you were
chat.
just bleeding chat. Yeah, you were just bleeding chat.
I got to notice, and I hadn't done that in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little bit confusing. Also, I can't remember, were we planning a Wednesday stream or not?
Yes.
Okay. I meant
There's
to
a
ask
reason
before we started.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be like a whatever crops up day 2, and then like a conclusions to E3 stuff. That's it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, I thought, but I also know that like last year we wound up cutting back some of the days, so I didn't remember how far back we actually cut.
Yeah. Like day 2 will at least be like a wrap up and our final thoughts on E3. It just depends on whatever comes out on day 2 of E3. If we actually talk about any news and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell that I'm not super excited about a thing I was excited going into a press conference?
But I mean,
And that I am.
You finally got Avengers game stuff. I didn't watch it.
To be fair, you didn't miss much.
Like, to be fair, when is the Nintendo Direct?
Tomorrow at noon.
At noon? 11? Yep. Dang it! Dang it!
You can't watch it live, can you?
I'll at least miss the first part of it.
Ah.
Dang it!
As long as you don't miss the Smash reveal, it'll probably be fine. Because that'll probably be one of the big things coming out of it is the Smash reveal of who is character 2.
You know,
I'm willing.
I kind of have to agree with something that one of the streamers I watch kind of said. I doubt we'll get any Maker 2 stuff. So it might be a quick plug and go. So outside of that, the only major thing we know is the Smash one right now, really. Yeah,
I was about to say Maker 2 will be in the Treehouse segment because I saw on Twitter they had people voting on stuff to put in a course. So that will be where like Maker is most prominent is in Treehouse, but not the Direct.
the direct, it's going to be a touch and go. Much like I would assume Fire Emblem will be, since it is so close to release.
Like Fire Emblem and Ultimate Alliance 3 are just going to be like, yeah, those are out next month. Here's like a launch trailer for them. Because like there's been a crap ton of Three Houses information over like the last like few months. So like if you wanted to know something about Three Houses, you probably know it by now. So I don't think you need anything.
Now, I am going to say something that I kind of am going to speculate on anyhow for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch the tail end of the World Championships for the Maker 2 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Invitational, I guess, technically is what that one was. But the way it was worded, I feel like we're going to get a demo. Like either a demo or maybe for those that pre-ordered, they might get it early.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Because the whole line about them trying to find a way to where you could play the courses that were in the Invitational, that and Twitch chat caught it too. And thanks OBS, quit acting stupid.
I saw the derp on the dashboard.
I watched the OBS just go red, green. Like not cool. But the way they kind of said that, Twitch chat even caught it, and it's like demo on eShop, and I'm like, we're
demo
too
shadow
close
drop
to
on
E3.
direct.
Yeah, I was like,
that'd be
it
shadow
would be
drop.
cool if they dropped it at the end of the Invitational, but no, that's going to be a direct. They've got to have a way to break the eShop. We know that.
Yeah, it would be like the 4th or 5th shadow drop to E3 at this point.
Well, and quite frankly, this would be the 3rd year in a row, I believe, that Nintendo has tried to break the eShop.
You know what would break it more?
What?
Okay, like, I'm willing to put money on...
I know what would break it more. Now, the question is that what you were thinking?
What were you thinking?
It's comprised of 3 games.
Oh, no.
That would
something
break
else.
the eShop.
Yes, that would also break that would also break it, but you know what else would break it? Because I'm willing to put money on what the recent rumor has said, because the guy who said it is reputable and also confirmed stuff that has already been confirmed these last 2 weeks, that Banjo-Kazooie is our next fighter.
And Shadow Drop during the Direct.
He'll just pretty much go, here's Banjo-Kazooie, and he's out now. Just like, he's out now. Go smash with him.
Initially, I want to be like, I don't think they would do that, but then I look back and I'm like, they've done that.
Yeah. It would be insane to be like, here's Banjo-Kazooie, you can go play him now. And immediately everyone is like, well, fuck, I don't need to watch the Direct anymore, I'm playing Smash.
The only thing with that is it wouldn't break the eShop as much as it would the Smash servers. Because...
I mean, we might...
Isn't the only way you can get the fighters through the Fighters Pass right now?
That or buying them individually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can buy them individually, but you can also buy them in the Season Pass.
Then yeah, that might still break the eShop too. Well, but I don't think it would as hard. Because a lot of people would have the Fighters Pass by now.
Oh, it will break the update server. It will take forever for people to update if you don't hop in immediately.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what happened to people with Joker. Because I got in before everyone broke the server and you could not play Joker that night.
But yeah. I mean, that completely would happen. It would break that regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would break the eShop as bad, though.
Yeah. Trilogy will break the eShop.
Yeah. Especially if it's not at the $60 price point and it's like at a $40 price point or something like that.
Ooh, that would be really good, actually.
Like, and I don't want to say that because I don't want to be like, that's what I expect it to come out at. I know if they take the Wii release of it and convert it all to Switch, that's going to be some work. I could see that being a 60. But I also look at the fact that I paid $20 for the Wii trilogy. So...
Yeah. Like, I'm excited for the for Nintendo Direct because I'm like, Nintendo can't possibly disappoint us at this point because they have no brand spanking new hardware to wait on, really.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a PlayStation 5 or Project Scarlet or a streaming service to wait on. It's just like, the Switch is doing really good. Here's more games on the Switch. So it's not this weird holding pattern of announcing shit that it is coming out at oddball times of being like, is this a cross-gen title? So I'm like, Nintendo's in the best position out of everybody right now, where it's just like, we can just show games that are coming out right now within the next year. And like, we ain't gotta set the conversation that we all want to have, but we can't have it till next year.
You know, I just thought of something. I know something else that would break the eShop.
What?
And I had to look to verify. You know how we get the retro titles through the online subscription?
Yes.
You know how it's only NES games through that app?
Uh-huh.
What if they dropped the SNES stuff?
That would be amazing and wonderful.
Because I'm having to think at this point we're probably, for the N64 and GameCube stuff that they want to push, we're probably gonna more see remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least upscaled for them. I don't think we're gonna see like a emulated version of them, and I use that term kind of loosely because I'm sure that's how the NES stuff is, but I don't think I've actually heard anything where anyone's actually dug into it and found out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of getting the vibe that we'll probably see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly thinking, as far as Switch stuff, we might either see Wind Waker or Twilight Princess being ported. Because, like, there's been a lot of talks of that being a potential.
Mm-hmm.
And, by the way, I think just about any one of those things that either you or me have mentioned right now probably would put Nintendo at best. I guess you could say press conference.
Yeah, I'm willing to say that because, like, again, a lot of people have done a lot of sidestepping and like not talking about next gen, even though it's next year. Except for now, today with Square Enix, where I feel like this is the first one that doesn't have to have that conversation because it's like, here is just a bunch of shit. Yeah, well, some of them are remasters and remakes and stuff, but here's games.
Well, I'm feeling like that boils down to The only thing Switch related console wise that we know is even a potential is the Switch Mini, and that's really more geared to just finalize the killing of the 3DS. That's not really a new console.
Yeah. And like a Switch Pro, I guess.
No, that one's been confirmed. That's not this year.
Well, like this year or like next year, like a Switch Pro wouldn't radically alter Nintendo's strategies in terms of development of games. Yeah, you get more horsepower out of it, but it's not like a big step up as like a brand new console like a PlayStation 5 or a Project Scarlet.
But I think it would boil down to the same issues that we saw with the 3DS line as well as the Xbox One and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's certain things that it's basically if you don't play it on the upscaled one, you're not getting the best version.
Very true.
And that... Nintendo's done it before with the 3DS and really kind of did good with it. But I'm wondering, honestly, how far the Switch can go with an upgrade. Because I don't know if you've played around with it. Well, no, I know you have. You noticed in Breath of the Wild how much quicker the loading was, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah.
And how much more consistent it was?
Mm-hmm.
That's because of them figuring out the Switch can be overclocked.
Oh.
So,
wait, would it...
in light of overclocking it and it being able to perform better... And see, Odyssey's got a lot less loading time. Because, I'm sorry, the run I PB'd here a while back, and the PB I had before that, I feel like I was more practiced with that one than this one. And I got, I'm wanting to say like a 2-minute time save.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be possible. I just got the God run. I'm not going to throw that out there. But I don't know. I feel like that a lot of that was because load time's being shortened. I know with Odyssey, you know, when you're first in the ship and Cappy tells you about where to find the controls.
Yeah.
That screen didn't even have time to load.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, I literally was going through the text fast enough to where you could just see the loading circle in the middle. It didn't even try to load the page.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that does count in there.
Mm-hmm. But, quick question. This might be a misconception on my part, but isn't prolonged overclocking a bad thing?
Yes and no. Like, it probably is worse with the Switch because, you know, the simple fact of there has been heat issues with it, hence the warping of some of them.
Uh-huh.
But I think really the worst of it is just the potential overheating.
Okay. I was just curious because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that prolonged overclocking is a bad thing. So I don't know how much that is going to be a good thing that is a crutch to lean upon for performance in the Switch.
Yeah, but
I would like for my Switch
is, will the Switch be able to handle any kind of an hardware upgrade? I mean, it's not really that old.
Yeah.
I mean, at least when Nintendo did it with the 3DS was around for a while. So yeah, there was plenty of time for hardware to upgrade. The Switch,
Maybe that's
might be too close.
that might be why the Pro got pushed back, because they're like, we're not getting enough of a bump in performance to justify a hardware release.
Yeah.
So that might be why the Pro got delayed, because it's like, yeah, we're not getting enough performance. Like, we need to push this back some until we get the performance we want. But before we talk about Nintendo all night, even though the press conference isn't here yet.
Speculation. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Let's talk Square Enix. And I just want to talk about Avengers first, because I got things to say about Avengers.
That wasn't even the first thing they covered, was it?
No, that was the last thing they covered.
Yeah.
It ended the show. Because, okay, you haven't gotten to see any of the Avengers material yet, right?
Nope.
Okay, so just to clarify some things real quick, if you did miss it, this is PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. This is not an MCU game. This is a brand new story, like the Crystal Dynamics' his own take on these Marvel characters. It is focused on the core Avengers team minus Hawkeye that you would expect from the MCU. And the story is essentially the Avengers are setting up their West Coast base and have a big celebration of it. And they're showing off that their personal helicarrier that has a Terrigen reactor core that is then attempted to be stolen by some villains that may or may not be led by Taskmaster. No confirmation on if it is Taskmaster or not, but it's assumed to be Taskmaster, considering what the glimpse we get of him in the trailer. But the heist fails, and the helicarrier crashes into San Francisco Bay and causes a massive amount of damage to San Francisco. And that day goes on to be called A-Day, where the Avengers are outlawed and they disband after failing on such a massive scale. And presumably Cap dies in this event, leaving us with Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow. Which sets the stage for the game 5 years later, where you bring the band back together as something is pulling together villains. I believe Abomination, Fing Fang Foom, and someone else are spotted at the end of the trailer. Let me take a look real quick. It is hard to tell who Black Widow is fighting in this trailer. It might just be a regular enemy of some variety, but that is definitely Abomination that Hulk is fighting. And Fing Fang Foom, I believe, is our in trailer little tease. I'm just confirming it right now for myself. Maybe? It's hard to tell. No, that's Lights. That's hard to tell. So that might not be Fin Fang Foom. I was hearing in Easy Allies' stream that it was Fin Fang Foom, according to chat, but chat might be wrong. Anyway, so that all sounds good and wonderful, right? So that all sounds all good and wonderful, right?
Yeah.
And this is also 1 to 4 player co-op. Right?
Okay.
And it's presumably third person from the brief glimpses of gameplay we got in the trailer. So, still sounds good, right? All excited, right?
Yeah.
It's a live service game. It's a live service game, but they have said no microtransactions and all the heroes and regions all new heroes and regions that will be introduced in this game, and missions, they are all free. So
then how are they making money?
I don't know. But yes, it's a live service game. Now, why am I disappointed by everything that looks good? Historically speaking, live service games have all had terrible first years. If you want examples, I have of quite a few. And they are all high-profile AAA releases, much like Avengers. All of them.
Destiny wouldn't be on that list, would they?
Both? Which one? One or two?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Both Destinies. Fallout 76. Fallout 76. Both Divisions at this point. Maybe not Division 2, but Division 1 definitely. Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Practically any Ubisoft live service game did not go well out of the gate, and neither did any of the EA games. Like Battlefront, both Battlefronts were under a live service model, and neither one did really well. So again, why should I not be concerned about this when you have confirmed that this is a live service game? And no one has figured out how to do a live service game right in a fucking year one setting. No one. No one. Except maybe Ubisoft with Division 2, but I doubt that because they had to push back the raid like several weeks. So, yeah, I just... Am I wrong? Am I wrong to be actually concerned about this, no matter how good this goddamn game looks, because we've been in this position before?
No.
Okay, because, like, this looks good, and I know people fucking, like, are excited for this, because I see all the comic people I follow on Twitter, like, excited and can't wait, but I'm like... It's a live service game. And they've already went and confirmed that, like, you know how Destiny had exclusive PC or PlayStation content?
Yeah.
This will have exclusive PlayStation content. And I can almost guarantee you what one of those will be.
Spider-Man.
Yes. Like, maybe not Spider-Man the character, but the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 skin will be exclusive to PlayStation. Because, okay, apparently Easy Allies said that they were told, or no, it was Giant Bomb when they were talking about it, because I listened to both Easy Allies and Giant Bomb after I got done. Giant Bomb said, no. They said, no, this is not connected to Spider-Man.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But it doesn't help that there's a coincidence. No, it was Easy Allies, my bad. Giant Bomb was talking about Final Fantasy VII and the stuff for Watch Dogs. Easy Allies someone brought up the coincidence of dialogue in Spider-Man where Spider-Man says, hey, aren't the Avengers doing something on the West Coast? Coincidentally enough, this one is focused on the West Coast. Ha! But again, they promised, no, this has no connections, but I point out that this at one point was supposed to have a connection. So it might be connected. It probably might only be connected in cosmetics at the point, but yeah, they will have the Spider-Man costume. So yeah, I don't know. I have concerns. I have legitimate major concerns with this because of how live service games have gone. Will this first year not suck? But people are supposed to be able to get a hands-on demo tomorrow. I know Easy Allies and Giant Bomb both have appointments to get demos, so they will have impressions of them. So we'll probably get to talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel being just being told all this?
I mean, I'd give it a shot anyhow. It might surprise, but I doubt it.
I don't want to buy this day one. I don't want to buy this week one. I want to wait. I want to wait like 3 months and see where this fucking game is in 3 months. And if it's not garbage in 3 months, I might consider it. Because also, by the way, it comes out in May of next year.
That's weird.
Yes. Granted, a lot of release dates for next year have been... Yeah, May 15th next year. Because again, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out in March of next year. And I know on the Giant Bomb podcast, someone was talking about, like, how long is the wait till the next game? And will you have to cross gens for it? And at this point, yes, you will have to cross gens because the next one will probably be on PlayStation 5. Shall we? I guess we'll go like down the list properly now for Square Enix. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake. They started the show with that. They started it on the title screen, like literally the 7 title screen, and clicking remake, and I guess showing like the opening seconds of the game of Cloud arriving on the train. Before they came out, did a little speech, and then showed how the gameplay works, which essentially is Kingdom Hearts for a lot of respects, except you can pause the combat when you fill up your ATB gauges to do a command. But pretty much, like, if you played a Kingdom Hearts game or you played 15, this comment isn't super surprising, but it does have the stagger system from 13. I don't know why it has the stagger system.
But you said it plays like 15, right?
Controls and combat-wise, it does, but enemies do have a stagger gauge. That as you hit them with attacks, it increases the stagger gauge, and when you break it, they take more damage.
All I can say is yes. I hope it pisses people off.
Well, here's the thing, because I looked at the footage. For regular enemies, that didn't seem a problem. It seemed like you could like kill them but not having to worry about the stagger gauge. Stagger gauge is not a big problem. But on the big boss that they showed off, your damage isn't a whole lot for your basic attack. It seemed like a lot of your damage came from your special, which doesn't feel satisfying, to be honest. Like, your basic bare bones combo was doing nothing. And they even cut the footage to make it look like if you hit the boss with the weakness of a thunder spell, it broke the gauge immediately. It does not. It barely moves the gauge.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how 13 went.
Yep. So even if you're playing smart, it's slow, and that sucks. I think the stagger gauge is to make sure the boss can go through all of its fucking phases and shit. As it hops around and does all of its stuff. I think it's there for that. Instead of, I don't know, letting me kill this fucking boss and be done.
The boss is running around. How can we fix this? Just give it a stagger gauge. That works. Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah. But they did confirm that there are 2 Blu-ray discs, or the game is 2 Blu-ray discs, and the first one is Midgard. The entirety of Midgard. So I guess the second disc is everything else. And a little teaser from the trailer does show that you'll be getting into content with Midgard, because I don't think there's a second bike chase scene, but there is a second bike chase scene in the trailer. So there's that in play. Tifa was shown off, Sephiroth was shown off. Like pretty much like the first few hours of this game were shown off, and like also you infiltrating Shinra headquarters. So however long I think it takes for you to leave Midgard, that's the length of this game, plus whatever they want to expand with it, because it seemed like there was extra exploration and stuff in there. Materia can be slotted into weapons, and you can actually see it on the web. So that's neat and cool. There are different weapons the characters can pick up. Cloud is spotted with a new sword in the trailer. So you're not stuck with default weapons the entire game.
Yay.
I don't know. Maybe my experience with 3 is making me not immediately excited for this like I was after like deep diving into it. Because like you haven't seen a whole lot of 3 content, correct?
No.
Okay. Also, apparently chat was not working for me because there's somebody in chat talking about how Microsoft has for the...
Right, I forgot to pull chat up.
And I got rid of their name to pop out chat so I could swap tab.
Good one.
My bad.
It was CT cross CB.
Okay. But I don't know. Like, okay. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling like I'm sure there are people that have been dying for a flight simulator from Microsoft, and to finally have one, I'm extremely happy for you people because you finally get the game you want.
Hopefully.
I don't have the biggest interest in flight simulator, but for you that are excited, I am happy that you have the thing you want now. That will probably be on Project Scarlet, because that one didn't have a release date, correct?
I don't think it did.
I can check. That might have been the only downside of that, is that there was... Yeah, PC, Xbox One. I don't think it had a release date, which means it might come to Scarlet as well. Depending on how late in 2020 it goes. Come on. Where was it? There we go. $2020, so. Oh, first for Windows 10 included in the Game Pass, and then on the Xbox date. Yeah, Watch Dogs looked fine. I've gotten some additional information from Giant Bomb and one of their people in a presentation for it. I got some additional details. But yeah, no, the 7 remake, I don't know. Like, I don't have nostalgia for 7. Like, I'm one of those people that doesn't have nostalgia for 7 because I never played 7.
To be fair,
when I played 7 was like 4 years ago.
To be fair, you're not
and it
alone.
was,
yeah. I think the first one I played was actually 8, which I know we'll get to that later, because I see it in there. And even with it, I'm kind of because I never actually finished it either.
I never left Midgard in 7, I don't believe. I didn't even play long enough to leave Midgard. I only played like the opening hours of it. That was it. Yeah, I think most of that has to do with Legion being in London and dealing in a more, well, you know, like it's in London. London is a kind of a murky city. It's not as bright and vibrant as California. It's really, I'd say most of that is location and kind of the aesthetic they're going for, which that is that's a, I wouldn't say the hugest deal breaker, but it is a problem if you're not into the aesthetic.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it works with it though.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have nostalgia for 7. Just so we can end talking about 7 and move on to the rest of Square Enix's stuff. I just don't have nostalgia for 7, so I'm not like losing my goddamn mind over this like some people are. And maybe that means I am more critical of the finer details of this. And maybe I'm potentially being unfair to it, but I don't feel like I am. But I don't know. We'll find out in March.
Well, I kind of also have like that whole I don't know how to think about it either with it. Because some people might like it, but
I would say that theater disagrees with you because they lost their goddamn mind over that 7 or that 7 talk.
I do though kind of feel like I might could agree with that.
I think a lot of the middle stuff, sure, but like people wanted 7. People wanted Avengers. Maybe the end product Avengers is not what people wanted, but like that reveal people were ready for and excited for, and people were excited when they got it. Like that crowd was into 7. And they were also into 14. Which, like, to keep in mind, 14 is 6 years old from its relaunch and is still kicking. You can't say that a lot about MMOs these days.
True.
So the fact that it is still going 6 years after its relaunch, after a bad launch, it's fine. Yeah, I think we're too close to Shadow of the Tomb Raider to talk about Tomb Raider's future, is probably what it is. And I cannot speak to Just Cause 4. It might be that we're too close to Shadow, that they're not ready to talk about Tomb Raider. Granted, it probably doesn't help that Tomb Raider's developer is on Avengers, which is why they can't talk about Tomb Raider, is they're busy making Avengers. Also, who's on Just Cause 4? Avalanche? Okay. Okay, so they're not on Avengers. I was about to say it was Crystal Dynamics and somebody else that was on Avengers. IDOS, that's who it was. IDOS. Which is why we didn't get anything about Deus Ex, because both of them are on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything from Tomb Raider because I don't know, it just seemed too close to Shadow's release and Shadow like doing some DLC stuff for them to talk about anything. Maybe that's a though like at least Tomb Raider might be in the this is next gen plans eventually. But what else does Square Enix do? We got it's not listed in our list, but they did a look or just a trailer popping Life is Strange 2 that apparently had spoilers in it for episode 4 of it. So that happened. I forgot Life is Strange 2 was under Square Enix, technically.
You know,
The Last Remnant
remastered too.
Yep. The Last Remnant Remastered is currently on the Switch. It was shadow dropped during the press conference. So if you like Last Remnant, you can pick it up on the Switch right now. All remastered. Crystal Chronicles Remaster got another trailer showing it off. That's coming to PlayStation 4 and Switch. I'll get that Banjo-Kazooie one for tomorrow because Banjo-Kazooie might be coming to Smash. If the rumor from the one person who said it is to be believed, who is very reputable and confirmed stuff that has been shown off in the last 2 weeks, our Bird and Bear friends may be coming to Smash. I don't know. Did they show off Skate 4? I did not pay attention to anything from EA Play after like Star Wars because nothing else they were showing I cared about. Maybe next year. Granted, you could say that about a lot of things this year, is maybe next year. Yeah, showing off Crystal Chronicles coming out this winter for PlayStation 4, Switch, and mobile. Dragon Quest 2 got a long, or Dragon Quest Builders 2, my bad. Got a long trailer detailing it. I guess if you like Builders 1, this is for you. If you want a Builder Dragon Quest game, here you go. Or a Minecraft-like Dragon Quest game, here you go. Have fun. Final Fantasy's music catalog is on streaming services, so I wouldn't be so sure about that. Microsoft and Nintendo have been on very friendly terms within the last couple years, especially in the marketing department. They have been co-branding and doing crossplay across multiple platforms. Like, they have crossplay on Fortnite, and they had it like immediately, whereas Sony dragged their feet on it. Like, Microsoft and Nintendo are on good terms. Like, here's the thing. Microsoft literally listed the Direct on their schedule for E3 material. They didn't list anybody else except Nintendo, unless they had something there for the Xbox. They literally listed Nintendo's Direct on their material, acknowledging its existence. Microsoft is on good terms with Nintendo DC in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, they're on good terms. And for all intents and purposes, that means Rare's on good terms with them. So. And I want to say, like, who is it? One of the heads from Microsoft has literally went on record on Twitter saying, yeah, we totally do it.
Well,
like, they would
say he's also said countless times that they would love to do stuff with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, big stuff, not just, oh, we're gonna say we're doing stuff, but we're really not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Bear in mind, this is right. Yeah, Sony doesn't do crossplay. Nintendo was more than happy to do crossplay multiple times, especially with Microsoft. especially with Microsoft in the picture. So Nintendo is more than happy to work with Microsoft. So Banjo-Kazooie is a distinct possibility. And the thing is, the Banjo-Kazooie rumor, like I said, comes from someone who was talking about stuff that was confirmed within the last 2 weeks before anyone else. It is a reputable person that is saying this. Like, at this point, I feel like it's either going to be Banjo-Kazooie because of the timing and who's saying that, or it will be the Dragon Quest protagonist that we've expected from rumors before, considering not just that, but the data mining. It's a 50-50 on that. If it's not either of those, I'll actually be surprised.
Basically, it's gonna boil down to, we're getting someone tomorrow. The question is who?
Yes.
Well, the question is who and when.
Mm-hmm. And like we were talking about earlier, if they fucking shadow drop that, that would be insane.
Wouldn't be a first.
Maybe Playtonic would have to have something like a deal with Microsoft at that point. Anyway, indie title from Square Enix, Circuit Superstars, which just looked like a little Micro Machines little racer, which looked really cool. I dug it. It was extremely up my alley. 14 had a bit of a show off with Shadowbringers. They had a trailer talking about stuff that I have no idea what it is because I don't play 14, but I know people do play 14, so they were super excited for it, as I saw on Twitter, so good for them. I had no idea what the hell the plot was. I was like, this is like 4 expansions and I have no idea what people are talking about. I'm just gonna nod my head and go, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, they have the Gunblade from 8, right?
Yeah.
8's okay, 8's. I think I've mixed up 8 and 9 at this point. But yeah, they have a Gunblade class from 8, essentially, that is coming in this expansion. Romancing Saga 3 and Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions were shown coming stateside soon. They look neat and cool, like neat little throwbacky RPG stuff. Final Fantasy VIII is getting a remaster. And it's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Steam, and Switch. Oh, you have to try the Roller Champion. I am not surprised it's buggy. Forget who it was. I tried out the new Ghost Recon, and he ended up getting flung through the floor. So, it's not the only thing that is buggy.
Okay, now that's actually interesting. Yeah, I've got to say that seeing that someone's already willing to prefer it over Rocket League kind of now sways my thoughts on seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the matchmaking is such a buggy. Okay, that's better than the Ghost Recon Wildlands, because that one was, the gameplay was buggy.
I mean, matchmaking being buggy, that can be fixed.
Yeah, that's not a core issue. Thank God. Like that you can get the gremlins out of.
Now I'm really interested on when that one comes.
And wow, I see people are complaining that Tifa is wearing a practical outfit.
Oh no, Square, how could you?
How dare you give Tifa a not fan servicey outfit? How dare you? How dare you know they're gonna sell you a costume that is the actual outfit.
Uh-huh. Because that's the idea.
I might download it tomorrow after the direct and play it on my own time and see how it is. It's just one of those too many press conferences, too much just like waiting for shit to be done. So I finally am not having to worry about like press conferences after tomorrow. But anyway, 8's getting a remaster and it looks pretty good. I saw a comparison photo on Twitter and it's a pretty distinct difference between this and the original. It's a pretty good upgrade. Maybe not the CG cutscenes, but at least the core gameplay stuff is getting upgraded. I think the CG cutscenes are about as good as you could be expecting. You remember Oninaki from the couple directs ago?
No. Not right offhand.
Okay. I remembered it. It was the game where you travel between the world of the living and the dead. Not really super ringing a bell, unfortunately.
No.
It looked pretty cool at the direct, and they got shown off again. It comes out in August. Yeah. Yeah, that might be nice. I will try it out tomorrow. Granted, I have to remember if I even have Uplay installed. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius has a connected to it coming out, which it looks like a Final Fantasy Tactics, except it's not called Final Fantasy Tactics. So, yay! That's my take on it. Is like, this is a Final Fantasy Tactics, not called Final Fantasy Tactics, probably. We got Outriders from People Can Fly, being published by Square Enix. It's a sci-fi co-op shooter that looks to be third person from what I got from the trailer, and nothing else was said about it. So that exists. And then the Avengers stuff to close out. I feel weird because I feel like Square Enix has the best press conference because I feel like they didn't dance around the next gen question as hard as everyone else did, except maybe Ubisoft. Because that was my problem with Microsoft, is that I felt like they were just dancing around Scarlet and going, we don't talk about Scarlet till next year, so here's some stuff. And the stuff I was interested in was not their big stuff.
Yeah. I mean... I kind of feel like content-wise, I might lean more towards Ubisoft.
Yeah, a little bit.
But really, I feel like so far none of them has had the wow kind of deal. And like you said, I feel like a lot of it is that case of it's the E3 before the new consoles. So everyone's scared to put all of their ducks in, or all their eggs in the basket and it not work.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I also feel like a lot of the issue we're having isn't the normal it comes out at the end of the year, but that it's coming out within the first half of next year.
Yeah. That seems where a lot of the big titles are landing. And I've got questions about how many of those are cross-gen at this point. Because we know at least Scarlet is in the next year. I would not be surprised if Sony is like, yeah, we're putting the PlayStation 5 out next year as well. Fuck you, Scarlet, you're competing with us.
They will. Because that's the reason why Sony has had so much problems in the past. Rather than just do their own thing, they want to have that console war. And it's not needed. If anything, the Switch should have showed everyone it's not needed.
Yeah, the Switch has done gangbusters just by being its own goddamn thing, which is here's a console that is both home and portable.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, it was between generations. It had a release date at the beginning of the year instead of the end of the year. I mean, truthfully, if you look at everything the Switch did, it should have been a failure. And it's not. So if anything, Nintendo should have just showed them right there, look, you don't have to have a console war to sell. People will buy if you give them a reason to buy.
Yeah, and like Nintendo has constantly had good like high profile games come out like every few months with the Switch. Like there's something to play, new to play on your Switch every few months, I feel like.
Well, you look, first year it was almost every month.
Yeah.
I think the first year of the Switch, there may have been 1 or 2 months that got skipped, but otherwise there was at least a release every month. And by release, I mean major release. Now that the Switch has become the indie box, pretty much every week you can expect a good 10 to 20 games. But, yeah.
Like, just to point it out, like, the Switch will have 3 major games within the next 2 months. Yeah, like, Sony has been...
Not just that, really, though. Because, I mean, they did it with Minecraft, they did it with Rocket League, actually. They've done it, with Fortnite. Because I'm wanting to say the devs for Rocket League have flat out said, yeah, the only thing that is stopping full crossplay is Sony.
Yeah, it's literally a flick of the switch. They just need the approval, and then they just hit a switch and it's done.
Like, if Sony would get over themselves and just let it happen, they'd probably sell more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just what's feel weird about this E3 is we're in the weird transitional year, and that's why I think Nintendo tomorrow will have a really good direct, because they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to dance around a question that they can't answer till next year, because they don't have to. They have no answer for it, because it's like we don't have a new console to talk about. We probably won't have a new console to talk about for 2 years at least.
I also think the other thing that's also causing some issues, and I noticed it a lot in Ubisoft, and I have to think that they're not the only ones, well, excluding Microsoft, but Stadia.
Yeah, there's a lot of push for Stadia. And just a lot of push for streaming services in general. So that's a new wrinkle in developments where it's like, oh, we now have to also figure out how to make it work on there.
I don't think it was so much that they were doing it because they felt they were better than E3 as much as they probably
They have nothing
couldn't.
to talk about.
Well, it's probably not so much they didn't have anything to talk about, it's probably that they couldn't have anything to talk about because of the PS5.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they might have, by not doing an E3 presence, they might have actually had the best E3 presence because they don't have to try to dance around we have a new console.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If Sony had a press conference this year, it would have gone exactly like Microsoft, where here's some things that are coming out this year, here's a couple things coming out next year, and here's a bunch of things that have no release date. Because in case you missed it, I made a check of release dates for Microsoft's press conference. Most of their stuff was either 2020 or later. Only 9 games that they showed off yesterday are coming out this year.
And I think weren't all of those pretty much stuff we knew about before?
Most of it, yeah, I believe so. I didn't make a note of which one specifically, but yeah.
So, I mean, one of those, it's not really new news when you already know about it.
And the thing about it is, I was listening to Giant Bomb talk about this. I have not kept track of Inside Xbox. I've only really kept track of the press conferences. Our day 1, day 2 stuff will probably catch that, but I have not. Oh, when I see on Twitter, someone's like, I'm surprised nothing is presentation about that. Somebody was ready to leak everything and would literally send a cease and desist from Nintendo that just said, shut the fuck up. You are not saying anything. You fucking shut up. Literally, a leaker who was leaking stuff from E3 would literally send a cease and desist by Nintendo of, shut the fuck up. You are not saying anything about our presentation. The fuck you're leaking shit? No, we don't want you. Which is very classic Nintendo at this point.
Yeah, if it was anyone else, that would be one of those, you got something big you're hiding. It being Nintendo, no, that's just a normal day in the year kind of deal.
Alright, I should check that out then. But yeah, do you want to move on to Ubisoft? Because I got nothing else to say about Square Enix.
Yeah, I think we should.
I feel like it's about the same as the rest of the press conference we've got. I feel like Nintendo's will be the most, because 7 Remake, Avengers, that is everything people are going to talk about till Nintendo. And probably the only thing people will talk about after Nintendo, along with whatever major Nintendo shows off at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing I don't like about Square Enix is that they revealed the release date the night before at the Final Fantasy VII conference, or at the Final Fantasy concert. I wish they waited.
Yeah, because, I mean, they could have went as far as the concert goes and just say, 2020.
Yeah.
And then
because I'll be honest,
fine-tune it with their press conference.
Or just say, release date tomorrow. just say, we'll show off the release date tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow to find out the release date. And just play the trailer and then have it end with the release date. Because that crowd was hyped for that Final Fantasy VII remake. They were extremely hyped for it. And I guarantee you, if they kept the release date until the press conference, people would have lost their goddamn mind.
Oh yeah.
And that would have really pushed helped a lot of their other stuff, because people have been like, oh fuck, we got a release date, guys.
Now let's pay attention to everything else.
Yeah. Or being like, we can give everything else after this pass. Like, Life is Strange, whatever. Like, the rest of stuff, meh.
Granted, I'm sure that still probably happened.
Yeah. Ubisoft, they kicked off with Watch Dogs Legions. I don't know why I said that. I'll be honest, it was probably the thing I liked the most out of the press conference.
Yeah.
I dug it. Some additional details that Giant Bomb got from a presentation they were at, or one of their people were at. There is voice modulation for the voice acting. So it is entirely possible for you to have two characters talking to each other that are actually the same voice actor, but you can't tell because they modulated the voices enough. When you're recruiting characters, they are not a specific class. You can choose their class. It's the Xbox show. I guess they renamed it as the Xbox show this year. But, where was I? But yeah, there's that. Trying to remember what else.
Stealth Grandma.
Yep, Stealth Grandma. The NPCs are procedurally generated. There is a trust system in place that you will have to actually earn the trust of people, because some people will trust in DedSec more than others. So it's entirely possible that you can try to recruit somebody and you have to work harder to get them on your side than others. There's 3 classes. You can track up 50 people at one time, and on the map screen, you can see their daily routine, because every NPC has a daily routine planned out. So you can track them. Enemies you fight, if you do not kill them, they can end up in the hospital and possibly be recruited later if you tag them and track them.
Oh,
Yep. So you can play this a little bit more like Metal Gear Solid. You don't kill anybody because they could be a potential asset. Ooh, Bill Spencer and Major Nelson. Nice. What else? There is a arrest system. You can have your characters can be arrested and have to spend time in jail, but you can break them out if you do not want to wait for them to get out of jail. I believe the only consistent character is the AI. I think the other characters we were hearing on the comp, your own characters that you've recruited. So once more, there's like no primary protagonist, I guess, outside of your AI buddy. I guess the only other thing is, I'm trying to think. Outside of your recruitment missions, the other missions are very much so. Make of that of what you will. It sounds cool. It sounds neat. It may not be as like ambitious as it is showing to be, or as it will probably hype to be, but I'm kind of on board because Stealth Grandma has won me over on the charm department. Any comment on any and all that?
No.
Okay. Rainbow Six Siege showed off some of their season 13 stuff. Essentially, you get an MI6 character now, an MI6 spy James Bond character. That looks pretty cool. I still can't believe that this game has been kicking as long as it has, because it also did not well. It has bounced back. Again, why am I worried about Avengers? Because this is what happens to these kinds of games, these live service games, is that they have a terrible first year and then they can potentially bounce back. Adventure Time characters Finn, Jake, and Princess Bubblegum are coming to... have you seen Brawlhalla footage? Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen Brawlhalla footage?
Outside of what we saw from the press conference, no.
Okay. Well, it has a battle royale mode now, and in PCs, like, that one's not bouncing back. That'll be one of the first live service games to actually fail and not get bounced back. But yeah, Brawlhalla looks neat as like here's a Smash-like fighter that has more focus on team combat, which is kind of neat. Ubisoft is making a TV show about game development with some of the folks from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I kind of like the little clip they showed. I was about to say, Bethesda did none of the right things in Fallout 76. Including releasing it when they did. Yeah, they had Ghost Recon Breakpoint kind of acting like a Far Cry game where we have more focus on the villain than the protagonist. Because it's played by the guy who plays the Punisher on Netflix. Like I said, they shouldn't have released it last year. Yeah, Ghost Recon already got a big reveal. Nothing's there. Tom Clancy, the crossover game, is coming to mobile. Or I guess Tom Clancy featuring anyone else. Games we want to throw. Is there characters in here from other Ubisoft games that are not Tom Clancy games?
I don't think so.
Okay. It looked neat for a mobile game. I always figured Ubisoft would do a Tom Clancy crossover game at this point, considering they practically own Tom Clancy at this point. Because they're the only one that does Tom Clancy games because they own the exclusive rights to it. Like, at this point, they've made more Tom Clancy material than the man himself. Mostly because he's dead now. He died like 2 or 3 years ago now. Yeah, Tom Clancy is practically a marquee franchise of Ubisoft, so it's neat. It's mobile, yes, but it's still neat. Just Dance 2020 is coming out, and it's coming to the Wii, and I didn't realize that some hospitals use Just Dance for physical therapy, which is probably why it's on the Wii, because they use the Wii version for physical therapy sessions. That makes sense. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yep. Division 2 details some Year 1 DLC, where they're going to. Looks like their first 2 episodes taking you out into the wilderness to the zoo in DC, and I believe back to New York to Coney Island. I believe we're going back to New York into Coney Island in the episode 3. They didn't say where they were going, but it looks like Coney Island. And also, Division 2 is free to play for the week. So hop in to like the 6th game that is free this week. They also propped up Ghost Recon Delta Company, which is officially organized for people to get together to do stuff involving Ghost Recon and talk about stuff involving Ghost Recon. So there's that. For Honor Detail, that kind of like showed a new game mode, but then go into details about it. I thought it was kind of like a zombies mode. It's not. It's kind of more of like a headhunter mode from Halo-ish. It's weird. I don't know why they didn't detail this in the stream. Division is also getting a film on Netflix. Yay!
Yay.
Will it be better than Detective Pikachu? I say probably not.
I say nay.
I don't know, maybe. Like that one live action thing for Assassin's Creed 2 was good.
Was it Detective Pikachu levels of good?
I honestly don't remember.
If you don't remember, the answer's probably no.
Yeah. Roller Champions is in pre-alpha, and you can try it out starting today for the through the 14th, and I'll be trying it out tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Uplay is getting a premium subscription. That is more or less, here's a Game Pass for just our stuff. That's $15 a month. And also, we're coming to Stadia.
Because everything is.
Yep. Everybody hopping on Stadia. Oh boy, I can't wait for streaming service to be a thing. Ugh. And we end the Ubisoft press conference on a teaser for Gods and Monsters that apparently is very Breath of the Wild-esque.
You noticed that too, did you?
Yes, but they've also confirmed that, yes, we looked at Breath of the Wild, be like Breath of the Wild, so Breath of the Wild. Except it's Greek.
Okay.
And that is it. They kind of ended on a bit of a fart. It was just like, here's the thing, goodbye, we're off to a Rainbow Six Siege thing. So, how are you feeling today after both of these press conferences? I feel like that describes E3 so far in general. It probably will be described by the end of the week of just, this happened. I think I was going to talk about earlier is Giant Bomb was talking about this, and I need to go back and listen to the entire conversation and also dig into the articles they were talking about. But they were talking about how E3 has kind of been downsizing over these last few years because more and more companies are essentially looking at Nintendo and looking at the resources available to them and going, we don't have to go to E3 to announce our stuff. We can just announce our stuff whenever. We have the complete ability to reach our audiences at any time. So we can just show off our stuff whenever. We don't have to go to E3, spend all this money, get a booth, organize all that to show off our games. Which is true. Like, E3 is cool and all, but like, we don't have to like be at a trade show for you to do that. Because more and more studios are having their own events, inviting press to their studio to show off their games now. Because you can do that now.
Because that's a thing.
I mean, yeah, so you can do that. You can set up a Twitch for your studio, and you can literally stream your game and your gameplay of your new game with trailers and stuff, like right now. Like, that is a thing, the very, very extremely viable thing that you can do. You have social media to literally get the word out about your game. You don't need E3 to do it. Which, again, is true. So, E3 is kind of slowly dying. And it's not surprising. And sad. If you want to, it was a couple weeks ago on the Giant Podcast when they were talking about it. I encourage you to take a listen. But yeah, any thoughts out of all of this?
No, I'm kind of course, I think I have been the whole time. Kind of just been waiting for Nintendo.
Very true. I think outside of very specific things, I'm just waiting for Nintendo in general, because I'm excited about the Switch.
And I think we can honestly say we're not just one of 5 people that's excited for it.
Yeah. I would say most people are really excited for a Switch, or for things that are coming on the Switch. Like, I'm literally buying 2 games on the Switch next month, because Ultimate Alliance 3 and Fire Emblem 3 Houses come out a week apart from each other, and I'm picking up both. I'm one of those weird people that are buying both of those games. It feels weird to be like, yeah, I'm buying Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Who cares about Ultimate Alliance these days? Besides me and you?
Yes.
Although after that Avengers showing, I'm like, this is my Avengers game. Like, I'm not hot.
What I was thinking. So, it'll be a second as something went weird. and I don't know what. Ah. So it'll be just a little bit. Oh, sorry about echo. Super sorry about echo. But yeah. It'll be just a little bit while we see if things come back up. Apparently pieces of internet just went. But yeah, I feel like overall right now, which I've kind of been there this whole time, kind of feel like Nintendo's gonna be the E3 part. But yeah, waiting to see what he says about his stuff before I decide whether we need to cut or keep padding. All right, but anyhow, we are going to go ahead and cut it here. So we'll be back tomorrow as we pick up with, I believe it's just Nintendo actually, and the start of our day one analysis on what's on the show floor. If you like what you've been seeing, want to see more, and possibly even help us out on getting ever so closer to that affiliate status, go ahead and hit that follow button and come back and see our other stuff. Besides talking about gaming news, we also do some streams. We kind of have like in between shows too, so feel free to check that out. And I believe Peace will probably be doing a reactions and analysis stream tomorrow on the Nintendo Direct. I might try to, I don't know. I think if I miss the first part of it, I might just want to watch it all together. Ah, yeah. I'm getting verification in Discord, not on the Twitch chat. That is the plan for tomorrow, so if you want to see that, be sure to hit that follow button so you'll know when it goes live tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow night with our day 3 of the E3 special, and we'll see you earlier with the reactions. Later.